we have?
Well, no, that's according to the Canadian Surrogate Consultancy, who are in town this week.
Oh, that kind of
That
fertility.
kind of fertility. Proud Fertility Limited has been seeking potential surrogate mothers in this province for the past couple of months. And Nathan Chen is managing director. He joins me in studio with potential surrogates Krissy Holmes and Jackie Clark. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Krissy?
Oh, I'm doing great, Nathan. Thanks for coming in. So you're not from here, but you've come to St. John's. What brings you here this week?
Well, this specific weekend, it was very exciting. This is my third time coming back to Newfoundland in the last few months. And it's just connecting, getting that word out there, making sure that we raise this awareness that there is absolutely nothing ashamed about being infertile. Whether you are a heterosexual couple where you're infertile, or let's just say you're a single person, single male, single female, cancer survivor, or whether you are a gay couple where you don't have the ability to reproduce. This opportunity for you to grow a family, to fulfill your family dream, is basically a human right. And just raising that awareness, it's not a taboo to use a surrogate. It's not a taboo to be infertile. So.
Well, it's interesting. I'm curious, what kind of turnout did you get at your sessions?
Okay, well, always people say they're going to show up, and then they sometimes don't show up, which is great, but then they make alternative opportunities to meet with me. So I've had different breakfasts, coffee dates, but I did have a good turnout. And the people that do turn out are the people who are very genuine, and they're not afraid to ask questions.
So what kind of questions are you getting?
Okay, well, one of the first questions is like, oh, is it difficult to give up this baby afterwards? And the first question is, well, this is not your baby. And you're not giving up anything. You're giving a gift to somebody. So when you're giving a gift, you also know that this baby is not genetically connected to you, because at Proud Fertility, we support gestational surrogacy, which is where the embryo that is placed inside you through an embryo transfer is not actually genetically connected to the gestational carrier. So when they get that in their heads, and they also understand that to be a surrogate mother as a gestational carrier, most generally you need to have a child of your own, so you know what it's like to be pregnant, and then you want to be able to give this gift, give this blessing to someone else who's not as fortunate as you are.
Well, you've brought in a couple of ladies here as well who have been interested in this idea. I'm going to pull Krissy Holmes in on this conversation. You're a new mom. You've got your 4-month-old here. What is it about this idea that has sort of pulled you in?
Well, I had a fantastic birth. It was easy for me, so that brought me to the thought that maybe I can do this for somebody else, and it wouldn't take as hard of a toll on my body, because I was great at giving birth, I guess. And I also just want to change somebody's life and give them the gift of life.
That is really interesting, and I'm so glad you brought your baby in here as well. And Jackie Clark is here as well. So Jackie, what is it about this idea that's kind of drawn you in?
I'm here to give. That's what I'm here to do, and this is the best gift that you can give anybody, the gift of life. So that's what I want to do. I want to give somebody a child that they can love, just like I love my own.
So just to bring it back to you now, Nathan, are there many surrogate parents? Do you speak with many surrogates here in this province? Because it's not really something you hear about very much here. There's
a lot of interest, but people are still very wary and skeptical, as they should be, because they need to find out all the information. That's why I'm always coming back and just, following up with people who've just talked to me, and I don't want them to sign up right away. I want them to be informed and make their own decisions and continue doing the research. And even if it's not for them, then they become more aware and educated on this very important topic.
So what's in it for the mother if she decides to go through with this? Because, it's 9 months of your life. It's, a potentially risky period. What's in it for the mother at the end of this?
What's in it for the mother? Well, number one, it's always about giving. So when you're giving something, you give something to somebody never expecting to get anything back. And so when you give a gift so big that it can never be repaid to someone, such as a child, number one thing is really social recognition. There's nothing to be quantifiable about what you can get. For example, a new car or university education. Those are not things that you can get through surrogacy. So if that's what people are looking for, that's not what they're going to get from this experience.
Because it's actually illegal to be paid for to be a surrogate parent.
So in Canada, we have surrogacy and egg donation is illegal. You cannot sell your eggs. You cannot rent your womb. These are not terms, and these are not things that we want in Canada, because we want to have women that come forward with pure altruism and giving this gift that is so big that can never be repaid is genuinely what we want as Canadians, and that's what Proud Fertility wants to have continue in our country.
What does somebody need to know if they are interested in becoming a surrogate?
So number one, ask yourself what you're doing it for. So you should empower yourself by aligning yourself with the options that give you this ability to choose who you're going to help. And at any point in time, if you feel that you're not comfortable and confident, you should pull out. Because there's nothing more heartbreaking than when you're close to the IVF transfer, or let's just say partway through. Like, that's just very messy, and that's going to cause a lot of heartbreak for everybody.
So we know that it's illegal to pay somebody to carry a child for you, but how about on the other side of that equation? If you're part of a couple that wants to enlist the help of a surrogate, how costly can that road get, and what kinds of costs are you looking at?
Well, that's a really good question, because it's important to know that IVF in general, for let's just say a typical heterosexual couple using IVF, even with themselves, is very costly, let alone if you're going to use an egg donor and or a surrogate, right? So I always tell people that as an intended parent that you should budget something between $70,000 to $100,000, and the pluses can always go up more. You need to look at it as if you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, and that's the mindset you need to have when you go embark on your surrogacy or egg donation journey. The reason why I'm so transparent with this is that I have pursued my own surrogacy and egg donation journey within the last 6 years multiple times. I've used multiple donors and I've used multiple surrogates in both India and Canada. And to date, I do not have a child. And I have had an early stage miscarriage with one surrogate, and also a stillborn with another surrogate a number of years ago. So I know that the emotional toll can really affect and impact somebody, but to be able to be on the other end of things now, it's been very empowering for me.
And are you going to continue down that road yourself?
Oh, it's undecided. I think nobody wakes up thinking they're going to use a surrogate egg donor.